So we have been talking about, and we talked about verbs yesterday. I brought my KWL chart with me today, and we're going to use it to see what we know about verbs and what we want to know. So what we already know about verbs. I want you guys to help me and tell me what I know about verbs. What do I already know about verbs? What have we learned so far? Anything you know about verbs, tell me. We've been talking about them for a few days now. How about Liberty? Liberty, what do you know about verbs?
A verb is a word in it's an action word.
A verb is an action word. Very good. You are right. A verb is an action word. What else do we know about verbs? Libby.
Learning is an action word.
Learning is an action word. Very good. So learning is a verb. Good job. What else do we know about verbs? What did we learn yesterday about verbs? Hafsa. Go ahead, Hafsa.
Things we do.
They're things that you do. Good. That's kind of the same as action. Things that you do. Anybody else? Molly.
Running is an action word.
Very good. Running is a verb. What did we learn yesterday about verbs? We learned about when verbs happen now, when something's happening now. What do we call those kind of verbs? Zach.
I didn't know my hand was raised.
Oh, that's okay. I'll call him somebody else. How about Nolan?
They're gonna go to physical bathroom. Most of all I got to do.
Nolan, what do we call those verbs that happen right now?
Writing.
Writing can be a verb. Writing is an example of a verb. Does anybody remember? We talked about verbs that are happening in the what? The past, the present, the future. What kind of verbs did we learn about yesterday? Delaney. Go ahead, Delaney. Okay, I don't hear you. How about Missy? Missy, what kind of verbs did we talk about yesterday? If it happens right now, it's in the right now.
Missy cleaned her room.
Cleaned her room. Maya in the chat box said in the present. Thank you, Maya. We talked about present tense verbs. So verbs can be in the present. They can tell about the present. What do we do when a verb is telling about the present? We practiced. Remember, if it's one person, what do we do to that verb? If it's only one person, what do we do to that verb? Madison, do you remember?
No.
Maya remembers. Anybody else? What do we do when it's one person? If I say, she cleans her room. She cleans her room. One person, what do I do to that verb? What do I do to the verb? Delaney. I'm not hearing you, Delaney, but you wrote it to me, and you said to add an S, and you're right. So if it's one person, or sometimes it's an animal, we add an S. If it's more than one person, what do we do? If it's more than one person, like a group of people, what do we do, JJ? If it's more than one person, what should we do, JJ?
One person, you put the S on it. If it's more than one person, what do you do?
Yeah. Every time you get it right, she's gonna then call your name.
Tell her you're not sure if you're not sure.
Are you not sure, JJ? I can call on somebody else. I'll help you out. If it's more than one person, we don't do anything. We leave it alone.
Tell her.
Leave it
You're on the
alone.
microphone. She can hear you.
I'm going to write that. Leave it alone. Thanks, JJ. You can mute your microphone. Okay. So we know about present tense verbs. But what do you want to know about verbs? We're going to keep learning about verbs. I want to know what you guys want to know about verbs. What do you want to learn? What do you want to learn still? We know about present tense verbs. Do you want to learn any other kind of verbs? What else could we learn? I know that when we are writing, we are talking about the past tense, but we haven't really learned how to do that. Maya, what would you like to learn? What do you want to know about verbs?
I want to learn.
Okay, that would help us with our writing, wouldn't it, Maya? So we want to learn about past tense verbs. How can I tell somebody that I'm already did it? Does anybody else have something they want to learn about verbs? Sadie.
Phantom verbs.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand you. What do you say? Say it nice and clear.
Phantom verbs.
Oh, compound verbs? Well, there is something called compound words. We're going to learn about those later in grade. That's not a verb. A verb is an action word. What else could we learn more about verbs? Hafsa.
Uh, about present tense verbs.
You want to learn more about present tense verbs? Okay. We can learn more about those present tense verbs, maybe how we can use them. We learned about what we do when we add s or we leave it alone yesterday, but we didn't really make sentences with it. So maybe we can make sentences. Okay. Well, we have a good list. And you know what, Maya? Today's your lucky day because we're going to learn about past tense verbs today. So we are going to learn about past tense verbs. This last column, what I have learned, we'll fill out when we are done learning about verbs, okay? So good job, boys and girls. Let's look at our learning target for today, our first learning target in red. Who can read my first learning target in red? So that we know what we are going to be learning. Liberty, go ahead.
I know my place
Heart.
My parts of speech.
Very good. I know my parts of speech. We said nouns are parts of speech and verbs now are parts of speech that we've learned about. So let's go ahead and learn about something new today. So we know that verbs can tell what the action is now. We call those present tense verbs. Or a verb can tell us what the action was in the past. In the past, we call those past tense verbs. And that's what Maya said she wanted to learn about today. Verbs that tell about the past end in a special ending. They end with the letters E, D, E, D. So I want you guys to get out your reading journals. Get out your journals. We're going to practice changing some words to past tense by putting ED at the end. They end with ED. So get out your reading journals and get a green check mark when you have it. When you have your reading journal, give me that green check mark. Because we're going to use it to write down those past tense verbs. Remember yesterday I told you how our brains have like a bunch of wires in them? Not real wires, but it's like wires. And when we put our pencil on our paper and we write, it connects all those things that are like wires. All those connections get made, and it helps us learn better. So that's why I want you to get your reading journals out and write with me. Okay. Let's start with our first one. Well, let's look at this example. An example of a noun verb, a present tense noun verb, is Toad jumps. One person doing the action, and so I added an S, and it says Toad jumps. Well, I want to make that in the past. Toad already jumped. Look what I did. I added ED to jump. So now he did it in the past. If I say jumps, he's doing it right now. If I say he jumped, he already did it. So we're going to make some past tense verbs in our journals. Are you ready? Here we go. Here's my first verb. Who can read this verb for me? Who can read this verb? Tristan.
Walk.
Walk. Very good. Everybody write walk in your reading journal. Write the word walk. Now I want to change this verb to a past tense verb. I want it to have already happened. So what would I do to the word walk to make it be past tense? What could I add at the end to make it past tense? Savannah.
You can do something really, really good.
There.
Like that. And adding is counting. Not counting. Okay. Walk. I walk. ED.
Good. Girls, added an ed. So add that ed to the end of walk and you get walked, walked. Let's try another one. Did you write that one in your journal? Let's try another one. What word is this? What word is this? Hmm. Then unmute your microphone. You gotta raise your hand and I'll call on you. What is this word, Libby?
Play.
Play, very good. I want to change the word play to be in the past. I need to add some special letters to the end. If I add those special letters, what would my new word be, Maya?
Play.
Played. What letters did we add to the end, Maya?
ED.
Very good. Add ed, and now I have played. Very good. Let's try another one. Here's a word. What word is this? Darcy. Delaney. You're signed in as your sister. Delaney.
Jump.
Jump. Very good. Jump. So how can I change that to a past tense verb, Delaney?
Add ED.
Very good. What would it become?
Jumped.
Very good. Add ed to the end and it becomes jumped. So if I said, the boy jumps, it's happening now. But in the past, I would say, the boy jumped, jumped. I think I have a few more. Let's write the word color in our journal. That's our new word, color. Color. Can you write that one in your journal? C-O-L-O-R, color. I want to change the color to past tense. So what should I add to the end? Why?
ED.
Ed. And what would a new word be, Wyatt?
Dog.
Colored. Very good. Colored. Good job. Write that in your journal, boys and girls. Add that ed so you get the past tense verb. Here's a new one. What word is this? What word is this? Anthony. Go ahead and turn on that microphone, Anthony. What is this word? Okay, Anthony, we'll work on getting that microphone so that we can turn it on. How about Madison? Madison, what's this word?
Look.
Look. Very good. How can I change this to a past tense verb, Madison?
With the ED.
Good. And then what would my word be if I added ed? How would I say it?
Looked.
Very good. Let's all write look in our reading journal. Your microphone, Megan. Thank you. Looked. I've got to scoot out of that sun, boys and girls. It's right in my eyes. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm going to skip past this one. We have lots of examples. I want to practice putting the correct verb in a sentence. So I brought some sentences with me, and we're going to look at two verbs. I want you to pick the one that is going to go in the sentence. Are you ready? Here we go. My sentence says, the dog blank at me last night. Is it the dog barks at me last night? Or dog barked at me last night. I know that this sentence is talking about something that happened in the past because it said last night. Last night already happened. So what verb should I put in that sentence so that it makes it past tense? Missy, should I add barks or barked, Missy? Oh, Missy, I'm sorry, your microphone is
Bert.
bark. Very good. Bark. Bark. Because I have that E at the end, I know it's a past tense verb. And I know this sentence is about last night, which is in the past. Let's try another one. Tom blanked to school yesterday. Tom walked to school yesterday, or Tom walked to school yesterday. Ugh. Okay. So, Zach, I was wondering which verb should fit in that line. Is it walks or walked? I
Walking.
know this is walked. We say walked. Very good. And we're going to talk about the different sounds that that ED can make next week. But we would say walked. Tom walked to school yesterday. Very good. Because this happened in the past. It was yesterday. Let's try. Well, we have time for more, I think. Jeff and Billy blank soccer recess. Is it play or played? Billy play soccer during recess or played soccer during recess? Which verb would finish that sentence? Hagen. Played. You're right. It's a past tense verb with that ed at the end, so we know it's past. Oh, let's do one more. This one makes me happy. It reminds me of spring. It says, Mrs. Kauker blank the plants. Waters the plants or watered the plants? Well, it's not spring right now. I'm not out watering the plants now. So it was in the past. Which verb would fit in that line? Mrs. Kauker waters or watered the plants. It already happened. Emily.
Mrs. tried to water the plant. You did.
Very good. It's watered. It happened in the past, so I'm going to have that ed at the end. Ed at the end. Very good, boys and girls. Well, guess what? I want you to change a verb into the past for me. Let's have a poll. So I'm going to bring this poll up, and it says, make this word past tense. Clean. Make that verb past tense for me. Clean. What would you do? Type it in the box. What would you do to make that word past tense? Clean. Type the word to me. Boys and girls, you're not typing a bunch of letters. You're going to change the word clean to past tense. How would you do that? Type it to me. Show me what you know. How would I change the word clean to past tense? Ooh, I'm seeing lots of great answers coming in. Good job, boys and girls. Everybody type it to me. How would I make the word clean past tense? Instead of saying the mom cleans, what would I say if it was past tense? Boys and girls, we're not typing silly messages in that. I want to know how to answer that question. Make the verb clean past tense. I'm going to close the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Boys and girls, not everybody answered. I only got 31 answers in there, and there's 45 people in class. That means over 10 people did not answer that poll. You have to answer that when I pop it up. It's good for Mrs. Kauker to see what you've learned. Okay. Well, boys and girls, we learned how to make a verb past tense. So now let's use it in our writing. Who can read my second learning target for me? It's in blue. It's in blue. Who could that for me? How about Logan? Go ahead, Logan. Carver, meet your man, please.
I can use the correct parts of speech in my writing.
Very good. So when we do our writing, we're going to use that correct part of speech. So let's get out our writing journals and let's go ahead and start writing for today. Get out your writing journals and give me a green check mark when you have it. Give me that green check mark when you have your writing journal. I have a new topic. We talked about a time that we played outside. Who wants to read their writing from yesterday? Who wants to read the 3 sentences from yesterday? Okay. Hope I not heard from. How about Delaney? Go ahead, Delaney. If your microphone keeps turning on, you need to exit out and come back in. Okay, something's wrong with it. You might need to call tech support. Okay, now you're muted. Okay, sorry, Delaney. Go ahead and read your sentence.
Me and my friends played outside. Some of our friends had teams, so we made a team. And know what we used to clean?
Wow, that was really good writing. Good job, Delaney. You told a really good story about a time you played outside. I loved it. Good work. How about Molly? Molly, go ahead and read your writing from yesterday.
I played outside. I jumped ropes. I rode my car.
Very good. Good job, Molly. Sounds like you have a lot of fun when you go outside. One person. How about looking for how about Zach? Zach, go ahead and read your writing from yesterday.
I played outside. No. I played outside. I went skateboarding. I played football.
Very good, Zach. Good job. You wrote 3 sentences about what you did when you were outside. Sounds fun. Well, today we have a new topic, and so we are going to write about the time that we went to the doctor. Okay, we're going to write about the time that we went to the doctor. So what kind of plan am I going to use for my writing when I am telling a personal story? Those narratives we talked about, those personal narratives. What kind of plan am I going to use to help me plan my writing? Libby. Go ahead, Libby. I don't hear you, Libby. Oh, well, what kind of plan am I? We're going to
Timeline.
There you go, a timeline. We're going to use a timeline to help us plan our writing. We want to get our ideas out of our head onto our paper. So we're going to write about a time that we went to the doctor. So I'm using put that on my first line. What did I do? I went to doctor. So let's all write our timeline and put our first
ED. Mom. I went to the doctor for a checkup. checkup. Next, I next they weighed me. Then he listened to my heart.
Everybody should be writing with me. We're all working hard in our journals right now. Period. Check mark it off. Give you a second to finish your sentence. Okay. So I wrote 3 sentences about a time I went to the doctor. Now, good writers always go back and read what they wrote. So let's read our sentences. You can put your finger underneath your words and read along with me in your journal. Ready? I went to the doctor for a checkup. He weighed me. Then he listened to my heart. Good job, boys and girls. I love those sentences. We used very good past tense verbs. Let's go ahead and underline our past tense verbs that we used in our writing today. So get your pencil ready. Let's look at our first sentence. What is my past tense verb in my first sentence? Remember, this one doesn't follow the rules, but we did learn about it a few weeks ago or a few days ago. What is my past tense verb in my first sentence? It's went. Went. It doesn't follow the rules, but it tells that I did it in the past. I already went. So let's underline went. Now let's look at my second sentence. What's my past tense verb in my second sentence? Delaney. Go ahead, Delaney. What's my past tense verb?
Weighed.
Weighed. Very good. He weighed me. He did it in the past. Underline that one. And then in my third sentence, what is my past tense verb? What's my past tense verb in my last sentence? How about Olivia? Olivia, I haven't heard your voice today. What's my past tense verb in that last sentence? Turn on that microphone, Olivia. What would it be? Oh, Olivia, I'm sorry. Don't hear you. How about looking for people I haven't heard from today? Skylar. Skylar, what's my past tense verb in a sentence? Skylar, go ahead and turn on your microphone and answer. Okay, I'm not hearing from my friends. How about listened? Listened is my past tense verb. It already happened. He listened to my heart. So I have three past tense verbs in my three sentences. Now it's your turn to do your writing. Over on the right-hand side, you're going to write about a time you went to the doctor. Maybe you went to the doctor for a checkup. Maybe you went to the doctor because you were sick. Maybe you went to the doctor for, I don't know, we go to the doctor for lots of reasons. You can tell me about a time you went to the doctor. Write three sentences. Look at your past tense verbs. You should have three past tense verbs because we're writing three sentences about something that already happened. Okay, already happened. Okay, boys and girls, well, we are done with class for today. You did a great job with those past tense verbs. I will see you at class at 1 o'clock. Okay, boys and girls? Bye.
Bye.